Yay, okay, we're live. Cool. Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. So welcome to the new time. I know that this is the first week for our new time, so I moved the time back to this hour just because after this I go for my walk, and then when I come back from my walk, I'll be doing a study group. But it creates, I'm gonna, my hair was funky a few minutes ago. That way I can have a little bit of a break between the two, and that way people who are serious about the study group are going to be in the study group versus people trying to pile in there for the free readings, which I still expect people to do that anyways, but FYI with that. So, hey everybody, hello. Hey Kay. Hey Snoops. Hello. All right, guys, so go ahead and you can start like posting your questions in the comment section below. We are on Instagram, Bitty Buddy Bomb Bomb. Oh, I love that. I love that. So we are on Facebook and on YouTube and on, I think we're on Twitter, or which is not called Twitter, it's called Periscope, I think, or something like that. But then we're here on Instagram. So for those of you, this is your new time. This is your chance to give me your question, and then I will give you an answer. So you can ask me about your life and be specific, meaning that when I say be specific, it doesn't mean, you know, tell me something about myself or I want a reading or tell me about love. Like, that's not specific. Specific is when you're like if you're going to the doctor and you can say one thing that will help them understand what you're experiencing or what you need guidance with. That's how I want you to think of it. So when you ask me a question, you need to be specific with what you're asking, not just generalize it, because I don't have the time to do a full reading for you. So I need to just get to it so I can move on through the line. So for, you know, health, finances, career, work, relationship, what specifically in that category are you asking about, whether it's a specific situation or something that you need the clarity about. If you want to know about your loved one in the spirit, let me know who you want to connect with, and I'll try to connect with them and give you some information that will hopefully validate and affirm that they are still with you. I am going to do text versions first. I mean, text meaning going through and reading the messages and then responding back. So I'll do that for the first half of our time together. And then for the second half, I'll do a bunch of video readings. If you want to be on video, get your butt over to Instagram, because that's where all the video readings are done at. I don't do it through Facebook or through YouTube. I only do it through Instagram. So get your butt over there, and then I will, you know, try to find, when I go picking, you might have a better chance of connecting with me in that way. If you are going to ask me a question, especially if it's in video, be conscientious of your time. I know that I've been very accommodating for people whenever you have like 3 or 4 or 5 questions. So try to limit your question to 2, because if it's on video form, I don't have as much time. So I'm not going to be able to devote like 15, 20 minutes to every person, because I want to get through as many people as I can. So I want to keep it down to like under 8 minutes per person. So keep your questions to 2. If you want to connect with the loved one, that's probably going to be most of the time together. But if you have a question, I would say ask it first, and then we can try to connect with the loved one in spirit. What else? If you enjoy these lives, feel free to give me a thumbs up or a heart, or best way is just to share this video with anybody that you feel might benefit from watching it, from being able to ask me a question, or just share it in general, just so that way people can be able to come here and have the opportunity to ask their own questions as well. And also, just as a thank you to me for doing this, like, send it out. So just FYI, if you get tired of waiting for me, because people do, just go over to my website, fernandomarone.com. Everything you need to know is available there. So if you want to have an e-reading, you can do that through the site. If you want to set up a time with me, you can do that through the site. If you want to know what the cost is or what times I have available, go to the site. Messaging me is probably going to not give you a response, because I don't really respond to private messages unless it is. So unless I respond. So, but I usually don't respond to private messages because I get so many of them, and it can be a little overwhelming. What else? I think that's it. As usual, my statements are personal opinions, not proven facts. Whatever decisions or actions you take, you are 100% responsible and liable for them. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. And I'm not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. You can still ask me those kinds of questions, but for legal medical advice or treatment, please consult with a licensed professional. If I share information with you, or I tell you something that I'm sensing, and you don't fully understand or you're confused by that, that's okay. That happens all the time. Ask for clarification, just because sometimes people don't understand how to put the pieces together in their minds. If I share information regarding a loved one in spirit, and there's a lot of stuff that comes through about people you don't know nothing about, you're going to need to find that out. And so when you find that out, or you ask your relatives if you can come back after the reading, and there's a post that says, share your experience, or how did you connect with the messages, put that in there, or share your story, because people don't always understand in the moment, but when they go back and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize what you were talking about until I asked my mom, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. But that way people can understand how people click after the fact, because it happens all the time and I'm used to it. But just FYI with that as well. If you are on YouTube and Facebook, if you get hit by a troll, and a lot of people do, what I would say is that someone that's messaging you, asking you to private message them, or if you want a free reading or an accurate reading or whatever, and it's usually from a person that is a different name, just block them, actually report them as spam or harassment, and then block them, because they are trolls. They're not, have nothing to do with me. I'm not here typing away messaging you, and no one for me is doing that either. Those are people who are just going to try to talk you into believing that they can read you, and then they're going to take your money. So be careful, okay? All right, so I'm going to not go in any particular order. I'm going to start over here in, start with Facebook. Linda McMillan, my son is going through a lot. Is he going to be all right? He seems like he's spinning out of control. Yeah, and kind of sounds, it's kind of general, so you're not really like being specific about his situation, which I understand. You might be trying to protect his privacy. But what I would say is, I feel like with your son, I also think that he might be going through depression. I also think that he might get a little bit hectic with substances or substance abuse, and so you will want to keep an eye on him with that. I think he's going to need some help out of this, and I think that one of his relationships or one of his connections or friendships might be like really messed up because of this. But I think that around the holiday, I hate to say it, but it might take that long. Around the holidays, I think he seems to do better, or he might seem more stable towards the end of the year. But I still think he's going to need to get involved with some sort of program, or with a group of people who can help act as an anchor for him. Because I just don't think that he's got enough supportive, nurturing people in his life to help him through it. And it's not always easy to talk to mom or to talk to family. So I think he needs more people around him in that way. But towards the end of the year, he might get a little bit better. Lisa Launer, Govarubias. Hi, Ferny. Did my husband and I have connections in our past life? How many did we have? 2. I think you may have had 2, because I'm seeing 2 in my mind. In one past life, I actually think that you were both male, and you worked on a vessel or a ship together. It was a trade route, so it feels like it's a trade route that y'all worked, and it was a vessel that y'all worked on together. It's fishermen, thank you, fishing. So y'all actually were fishermen together on a ship on a past life. So that was one of the past lives. Okay. Yanira Menjivar. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my dad or spirit guides? Thank you. Yeah, let's talk about your dad for a second. So the first thing he's doing, thank you. He is interesting. He's doing something interesting. He's like tapping the center of my head, and I'm not really sure why. Now, whenever someone does this, it usually means that there was something going on in the brain or in the mind. But he's doing this, like he's tapping the front of my head for some reason, and I don't really know why. There's 2 things that I want to share about this. One is, I'm reminded of a show I used to watch where there was a character and he had like a symbol or something in the forehead. But then I'm reminded of my uncle had a fall, or had he had an instance where he fell or hurt himself, and he had a bump on his head, and it never went away. But I feel like there's something that he's trying to make mention of, and those are the 2 references that I'm thinking of. He also keeps he also keeps acknowledging. Okay, I don't know if you have a belt or a tie that's connected to him, because I'm seeing a strap of material, or a strap, but it feels like it might be like thicker. It doesn't feel like it's like the consistency of a tie. It feels like it's a little thicker than that, but there might be like a strap or a fabric strap that may be connected to that he's making reference to as well. He also keeps acknowledging He makes me feel like he might have been having a little bit of difficulty towards the end of his life as far as like his legs or being able to use his legs. And I'm not talking about like the day he passed. I'm talking about like leading up to that, because he's like pointing to the legs and some issues there that might have been affecting him. He's also acknowledging water or fluid retention, and then also like something that has to do with the buildup in his system and it not making it easier for him. So that may have made it a little harder for him as well. He is also acknowledging the 30th or the 31st. So the 30th or the 31st might be significant as well, because he's bringing up that number. He's also, thank you, he's repeating his name, and I feel like there might be 3 people or 3 versions of his name that are connected to the family. Okay, that or he's the third, which would make sense as well. Paula Diaz. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my father, Pedro Diaz, or my great grandmother, Paula Gutierrez? Yeah, so your father is okay with what was done as far as memorial is concerned. So the memorial or the memorial proceedings that happened, he's making me feel like he's fine with that. So I don't think he wants anyone to worry about that, or he doesn't want anyone to feel like it wasn't right. He's okay. So he's making me feel that way. He is also, thank you. He is also acknowledging the 3 as well. So the 3 is coming up for him soon, because I was seeing 33, but I just want to talk about the 3. I don't know if March the 3rd is connected or March itself is significant, but there's a reference to that 3rd. So he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps, thank you, he also keeps acknowledging. So sometimes, let y'all into my world. I listen to ASMRs when I go to sleep sometimes, because they help to get my mind, relaxed enough to go to sleep. That sometimes I will watch an ASMR where it's a guy doing shoes. So he's like shining shoes and he's doing that. I don't know if there is a connection to shoe shining in your dad, or he was really big on shoe shining, or there's something about shining his shoes that he's wanting to bring up or acknowledge, because he's making reference to that. He also shows me birds. So birds and feathers are going to be connected to him, specifically birds. So I feel like birds more so than anything else. If you have birds showing up and like leaving things at your place, and that happens sometimes with certain kinds of birds. Certain birds will leave things. I know that ravens, sometimes when people befriend ravens, the ravens will start to bring them gifts as a trade. So if you have weird birds coming around or dropping things at your house or where you live, that may be a sign from that as well, because he's acknowledging that or making reference to that. He's also acknowledging, thank you, he's doing this, so he's acknowledging a baby, but I feel like he's talking about 2 babies. Usually that means a baby that was miscarried, lost, or terminated, or babies that have been born since his passing. But I think he's acknowledging like a baby that was miscarried, lost, or terminated, so there's a reference to that one as well, because he's doing this, so there's a reference for baby also. Okay, let's go over here. Vanilla 2323. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my grandparents or father that has passed? Yeah. He's I feel like I want to clear my throat, and I feel like so I want to make this sound, or I want to clear my throat. So he's making reference to that. Dad is making reference to that. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He is showing me, now that I've started to see that, always confuses me. When I see 11, I always think maybe it's the 17th. 17th might be significant, because I'm seeing that number alignment. So I'm thinking the 17th of a month is significant, or January the 7th might be connected. He also keeps showing me, thank you. Okay. 2 things with this. One is I'm having a memory come up when I was having a conversation with my friend, and she was talking about building her fence or redoing the fence because it fell. So I'm seeing that, and then I'm seeing when I like here where I live at, the adobe wall being repaired. I don't know if there's a connection to y'all right now having some changes done or replacing a fence or doing something with the fence, or if your dad is acknowledging something specific with him and fences, or repairing the fence, or memory with fences. But there's a reference there because he's acknowledging that. He also keeps, thank you, there might be a picture with him, and I think he's got glasses or sunglasses on, and it might be a really nice picture actually. So there might be an image of him like that. He's also doing this, so I don't know if he always thought of himself as a strong person, or he's trying to make muscles for me, or he's just acknowledging having his strength back, but there's a reference to that as well. He also is writing on my skin, so there might be a tattoo for him, or someone might be planning on a tattoo that's connected to dad. Okay. Twina Win. Do you see me moving on from W? Yes. I keep seeing the number 2 in my mind, so that 2 would either be 2 months or 2 years. I'm actually leaning towards 2 years, but I would say yes, I do feel like you will be moving on from W. Russo 6144. Hi, Ferny. Do you see a reconciliation with my husband's family? Thanks. Yeah, I think there'll be a reconciliation, but it may not happen. It may not be a full reconciliation where like everything goes to the way that y'all think it should be. I do think that things will get better, but it may not happen until the holidays. There might be an opportunity to reconcile in July, because I feel like July is significant, but I also think there's another time where y'all may be more interactive or more engaging with them around the end of the year. Daniela Ray 07. Hi, Ferny. Who are my spirit guides, and do they have any messages for me, please? And thank you. Yeah. I want to say your main guide's name is Govan. Govan. That's how I want to spell it. I've never heard of a name like that, but that's what I'm seeing in my head. So I want to say that the name is similar to Govan, or that's the closest name I'm getting to it. Govan. It's interesting because at first I thought, am I seeing like something like Giovanni? Like, no, that's not it. I'm like Govan. So I'm seeing that. So I think that's the name of your main guide. You're very... So when I think of, thank you, what they're making me think of is when I've had friends where certain, yeah, some of them, they'll do stuff for other people, but they don't do it for themselves as a business. And they kind of miss out on that. So there might be opportunities for you to be able to do for yourself what you may have done for others, or turn what you do for others into a business. There might be a potential opportunity there. So just be aware of that, because that's the way I want to describe it. And what I mean by that is, like, if someone, it's like, oh, I want to have a social media, or I want someone to do my social media. It's like, well, let me learn how to do it myself, and then I learn how to do it myself, and then I'm doing it. So it's almost like doing it for actually, better example, like a lot of my videos and stuff has been edited by me. Now, granted, for a while I had Michelle doing it, but then I went back to doing it myself. And so I still edit a lot of my videos. Because of that, like, if I ever decided not to do readings for a living and I wanted to like go into a different business, then I could totally go into like media editing, etc. Because you learn a lot when you have to do your own stuff. So it's a feeling of that, like, whatever you can do for someone else, you can do for yourself. That's the feeling that they're giving me. So your guides are wanting you to be aware of that. Impala me. Hi, Ferny. Do you see me moving out of my in-laws soon? I feel like you might try to move out by May. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're more likely to move out around September, October. So September, October-ish is when I feel more confident you move out. Around May is when I think you may try, but it may not work, or there may be some hiccups with that. Ms. Cat 308, how did you develop your gifts? Oh my God, that is like a loaded question. That is like a long question. because there's just, it's not an easy answer. I could say, oh, well, you just have to practice your psychic abilities. No, it's not that simple. Most people don't have a fundamental understanding of how psychic abilities work. Most people are running around thinking that psychics know everything and see everything, and that no psychic is allowed to either be wrong or make mistakes. If they're wrong or make mistakes, they're not psychic, they're frauds. So that's a problem because Hollywood has perpetrated that delusion. I mean, no profession in the world operates that way. I mean, doctors don't have to operate that way. Weathermen don't operate that way. And if we held weathermen to the kind of standards that psychics are held to, that would definitely destabilize the entire meteorological industry. So that's one. Two is most people don't realize that they have psychic ability. Every single person on this planet has psychic ability. Most people don't really come in sensitive to it. Only some people come in sensitive to it. It's almost like some people are better at being creative or artists than others, and some people just are not born with that skill as well. But everybody can do it, right? If everybody can learn to press a key on a piano and make a sound, but not everybody can be a Mozart, right? So with psychic ability, everybody has the ability to actually like evolve and develop their abilities on a professional level, because I know from experience working with different students who come from different backgrounds and have different levels of sensitivity, that you can learn to do this professionally. Doesn't matter whether you're really, really slow at tuning in or don't feel like you can tune in at all. And versus people who have psychic diarrhea, which is what I call it, where they've got such a flood of stuff coming in their head, but they can't make sense of it. But you can learn to tune in and to control that method and then to get the most out of it. So you can develop yourself. But for people who are interested in developing seriously, I did put together a free course on my YouTube channel that teaches everybody how to do it. It also gives you some of the basic understanding of what you need to know to do this work. Most of what I put out there is practical. It's not based in like a specific religious belief or a spiritual belief, because a lot of people, they try to turn this into like a religion. This is not a religion. Like everybody can be psychic without having any spiritual beliefs or any religious beliefs at all. You don't have to be a spiritual person to do this. Psychic ability is a natural mechanism of the mind. But my class is free. It's on YouTube. You can get there through my website. Go down to the classes and lectures or classes and events. And then there's the link to the free class. And then I also offer one-on-one coaching and mentorship, because if you really want to get good, you need somebody to really work with you one-on-one so that you can start to learn how your mind is working with your ability and how you formulate some of the information and how you're receiving it. You need somebody to actually hold your hand and walk you through that. So that's how you can develop it. But it takes time, it takes practice. And I've been doing this, I've been developing since I was a teenager. But professionally, I've been like working on this since the early 2000s, like the late 2000s. Actually, I take that back. I did it professionally in the late 90s, and then I stepped away from it, and then I started doing it again professionally in the late 2000s, and then I've been doing it since then. Okay. Oh, that's a long answer. That's how I said, like, it's a long answer, because it's not a simple, like, oh, but just like, and everybody's like, oh, I'm an empath, and they like, they're like saying, I have a foot. Yeah, I have a foot too. Like, we all can use our feet to walk, and we can use our hands to swim. You can use all of your faculties. You don't just have to stick to the foot. And it's irritating sometimes when people are like, I'm an empath and that's all I can do. That's everything. I'm like, no, you can do everything. You can do every single psychic ability, every single thing. You can do clairvoyance, you can do clairaudience, you can develop every single skill, but you have to use a structure or a method to do so. And that's what my class is about, is teaching people that they can use that structure. Ashley J16, hey, Ferny, any messages from Pappy, my grandpa? Yeah, first of all, I'm seeing balloons. Whenever I see balloons, it means one of two things. Either y'all release balloons for him, or we're within 30 days of a celebratory event or birthday. So that's usually what that means. Before, and 30 days forward, 30 days back, doesn't matter. That's one. Secondly, he is also acknowledging he's messed with your phone, or he's messed with a clock, because I feel like I'm hearing an alarm go off. So if you've had alarms go off or your phone acting funny with alarms, that might be your grandpa, because that may be his way of letting you know that he's around. He also keeps, thank you, he's moving my mouth to the side a little bit. Normally, whenever they do that, it usually means that there's a stroke associated with this, there's some brain damage, or there's something about being able to control your nerves, which might be an issue. So there's something that he's trying to make a reference to. Don't know if he was having that issue right before he passed, or he's referencing the difficulty with his nerves and not being able to control all of those motor functions. He's also acknowledging, thank you. There might be 2 blankets that are connected to him, or 2 blankets of significance, because I know sometimes when people are older, they usually have like a blanket that they use all the time, but he's showing me 2. So there might be 2 blankets that are significant for him as well. Okay. Lana Plato. Can you connect with my daughter, Tristan, please? Yes. So first of all, she's apologizing. So she's wanting to apologize because she makes me feel, thank you. The way I want to describe it is I kind of want to describe it as like negligence. I feel like there was negligence. Either she was negligent with herself and that caused her passing, or there was negligence involved and that may have triggered her passing. But she's almost like acknowledging negligence in some way, as if something that was supposed to happen didn't happen, or the way something was supposed to be handled wasn't, and it led to her passing, because she's making me feel this. She also keeps acknowledging that there was also factors leading up to her passing that would have probably caused an issue down the road anyways. It's just that the way she actually passed may have been sooner than expected. So there might have been a level of either y'all didn't expect it to happen at that time, or y'all were caught off guard when it actually happened. But she's making me feel like this inevitably either would have happened, or there was something that was already going to be in the picture anyways that was going to cause her passing. She also is referencing the month of January. So either January is significant, or the first of a month might be connected. She's also acknowledging December, which is also, December. So December may also be significant, or there might be a date of significance in December. And whenever I say date of significance, as far as like a celebratory event, I don't mean like a holiday. Holiday is holiday. This is like different. So this would be like an anniversary or birth date or something like that. So there might be another date as well. There's 2 dogs with her, 2 animals with her. I think they're dogs. So there's 2 dogs with her that she's trying to acknowledge. She's showing me a happy face. If you ever see like a happy face, or the sunshine face, or there's something about the sunshine or happy or smiley sun looking face, she's making reference to that, or she's pointing to herself. So there is either a sticker of that, a picture with her in this, or there's a special significance to that in some way, because she's showing me that image or that visual. Okay. It's almost like when I want to wear a button, like I'm wearing a button in honor of somebody and it's a happy face, or it's like, that's like how I want to describe it. Mila Blue 1, hey Ferny, do you see a job promotion or job change for me this year? I don't. I actually think you might end up going back to school or getting some credentials, because I keep seeing like a program or training. So I feel like you might actually just go and get some training, or go into a program. And then when you're done with that, then change jobs. And that's when I think you would actually be changing jobs. But that may not be for another 2.5, 3 years. So be prepared, because this might be a little bit of a long haul. I do think there'll be a minor change with your work situation in July, but that may just be because either the people you're working with are changing, or whoever you're having to deal with on a regular basis may change, and that may be the change that I see that would affect you, though I don't think it would necessarily affect you negatively. Trusted Yesenia. Ferny, do you see me reconnecting with Derek? Is there any messages from my Aunt Sandra and Aunt Natty? Yeah, as far as Derek is concerned, I don't feel great about the reconnecting. I do think y'all may run into each other. Y'all may talk again, but I don't think it's like talk like anything that carries on for too long. But that may not be for a while, so that may not be right away. But as far as reconnecting, like long term, no, I don't think so. I'm not feeling that vibe there. Go over here. Lucy Lopez. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my spirit guide? Yes. If you have the opportunity to get like some extra training or certification, or if someone offers you to to go into a program or benefit from a program. For example, like if I were back at Starbucks, I think Starbucks was offering to cover the expenses for for business management in school. And so I could have definitely gone and had them pay for that. If there's something that you have the opportunity to take advantage of, either through a job or through someone's work situation, I would say go for it, because I feel like it might be something that could benefit you. I also keep seeing you looking at numbers or dealing with numbers and stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if you actually start to get more pulled in the direction of doing like accounting or auditing or numbers work, because I keep seeing numbers in my head. So I feel like there might be something there that comes up for you as well. KR Russell, hey Ferny, do you see my hubby winning his workman's comp case? I think that they will come to an agreement, and I think he will settle for something that seems good enough. So I feel like there will be a win. It may not be the win that y'all would like, but I think there will be some sort of settling or settlement that will work for y'all. Here's an example of not being specific, y'all. So Connie, I'm gonna call you out, Connie Miller. Am I going to be okay financially, career-wise, love life? Literally exactly what I said not to ask, which was generalized, like one topic, or they're not even complete sentences, girl. What you doing? So I'm just gonna stick to the first question, which is financially. First of all, you need to learn to manage your money better, because I don't think you're doing enough of that. So you probably need to start saying no to yourself with spending, and also don't try to live above your means, because that will help you as well. I do think financially that feel like around the end of June, early July, you might receive some extra money, or you might get an unexpected financial benefit, either like an unexpected check or payback for something you've already paid towards. That might help you a little bit, but I also think that you probably need to learn to economize better. I feel like most of it has to do with economizing and spending, so you probably need to work on that. Okay. Angie Lurk, hi Ferny, as my son who passed over trying to communicate with me. Always and forever, he's always trying to communicate with you. I think that if anything, when he's, thank you. Wait a minute, slow down. I would say that you're more likely to run into him overly trying to communicate than to under communicating with you. So you might need to be aware of that. He keeps, I don't know what he's doing, but he's holding a can or a cup, and he's like ding ding ding, like he's hitting it or doing something with this like can, and the ding ding ding, so he's doing that. So there's a reference there. There might be a necklace that is also connected, though I'm not sure if this was something he owned, and I'm not sure if this is his or if you got this after his passing, but there's a reference there because he's acknowledging that as well. He also is showing me the number 22, so the number 22 might be significant, either February the 2nd or the 22 of a month might be connected. He also keeps acknowledging a picture of himself, Halloween, and I feel like it's a funny picture, and I feel like I'm half a character, if that makes any sense. Meaning half a character is like whenever someone goes half as one thing, half as another, or with like half their face is one thing. There's something about this that he's trying to show me and make reference to. And I want to say it's like either a costume or it's a character or it's something that would be significant or might be in a picture. He is also showing me, thank you, he is doing this. There might be bracelets connected to him, or someone might have made bracelets. If not, you might still have his hospital bracelet, but there's a reference to a bracelet. So there's an acknowledgement there as well. It's so interesting because normally when I see bracelets, I always tell people like it's either a watch or a bracelet. But lately they've been telling me about bracelets, like people keep hospital bracelets, which makes sense. But there might be something there because he's acknowledging that also. He also says that he wrote in the mirror. So I don't know if you had something weird show up on a mirror when it was foggy, or on the mirror, and then you thought, well, that's weird, how did that end up there, or a print? But there's a reference there because he's acknowledging that as well. All right, let me jump on here because we're at the halfway mark and I don't want to be late for my walk. So Hello, Ashley.
Oh,
Hi, Ashley. I'm here. Put a bra on, girl. Put a bra on.
that's so funny. Where is he at?
I'm right
Okay.
here. Where
Okay,
you
perfect. I can see you.
at? How
That's
you
so
doing,
funny.
sweetheart?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, Mom. I'm good. What did you want to ask me about?
So I wanted to see if there's any messages from my dad.
Yeah. So with Dad. So first of all, thank you. Okay, he's showing me something. I'm not sure what this is. I feel like I'm looking at a piece of metal, but I feel like it's either stamped or it's something impressed in the metal, and there might even be a star connected to this. Do you know if there's something that's made out of metal or that's connected to either metal or a um I don't know if it's metal or what is that stuff called? The it's that cast, you know, where you make a cast of something? Thank you. I know where he's going with this. Do you know if there's a? It's gonna sound weird. If there's a something that's dad or connected to dad in some way, or that means something with dad,
Yes.
that's like either. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's almost
Yes,
like
yes.
cast
He
in
just got
metal.
his stone, his gravestone put in.
Okay, perfect. Because he's acknowledging this thing, and I'm like, what is this? And I almost feel like it's bronze or something, but it's got like this metal thing too. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So he's acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. Beep 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 beep. Did your dad have a habit of honking at people, or like saying, or like acting like he was honking at them when they would get in his
Yes.
way? Okay, because he's acknowledging that as well. He he also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. Do you know if there's a 3 or 4 color type of bear where it's like 3 or 4 separate colors, and it's like a stuffed animal or a bear that's connected?
Um, no.
You know, do you remember Raggedy Ann?
Yes.
Okay, it's almost like it would be patched meal together, and it would be a bear or stuffed animal, but it may be something from a childhood, but it still would have a connection to him.
Have no idea.
That's okay. I would ask your mom because she may know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's almost like if I went and got a bear for someone and it's got like patched or
Yes.
it's
Yes, yes, I know what you're talking about now.
okay, got it. He's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps acknowledging you. Did y'all ever go horseback riding?
Um, no.
There's a picture of one of you, either you or him, on a horse. This might have been like a pony, but it's a horse. So there's a picture of this. So he's acknowledging a picture or an image of either you or he on a horse. But it's not, I don't think you. I'm sorry, it's a carousel. Is there a picture of being on the carousel or being on a carousel together?
But there might be one.
Okay, because I'm seeing a horse and I'm trying to figure out, because when I was a kid, I remember, you know, outside the grocery store, you would get on the little horsey, you put the coin in, and that's what I'm seeing. But I'm trying to figure out
Okay,
if it was a
yes, I
real.
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Perfect. So he's acknowledging that as well. He's doing this. Um, did you write something privately and then you like tucked it in or you put it somewhere and it's just for him, his eyes only?
Um,
Was that buried?
I know that there was a note that was tucked in, but it wasn't from me. It was just tucked into his hand.
That's okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. He knows about the note that was tucked into his hand because he says
Okay.
it's private. So he's just acknowledging that for that person that he got it. And he says it's okay, I love you. So to tell the person it's okay, he loves them. I almost want to say it's his way of saying no worries, no one needs to apologize, but I kind of want to throw that in there as well.
Okay.
Okay. He loves you. He's with you. He says he's proud of you. Um, do you work in the medical industry?
I do not.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this because I'm seeing a white coat and I feel like I'm in a facility that reminds me of like a medical facility. And I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this. He's putting you in a lab. What is this? Thank you. What is this? Do you at all have to wear a white coat or spend any time in a medical facility for work?
Yes. Oh no, but my daughter's really sick, so I'm always at the hospital with her.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. He's acknowledging your time or what you're doing at the medical facility and how you're there. He just says, I'm proud of you. So even though it may not be an easy thing for you to have to go through or to have to be there constantly, he's almost acknowledging that. He also says there might also be ways for you to do more than just be there for your daughter. So I feel like he's trying to tell you about something else that may show up for you in that way as well. But he says that what you're going through is going to help people and help parents. Again, he says, I'm proud of you. He says, you're not a bad mother. You're a good mother. You're doing what you need to do. I am proud of you. He's letting you know that. He also says he knows about the situation. He also says there's an injection or a type of infusion that might make it easier for her. Is her immune system like really low, or is her immune system non-existent?
It's pretty high.
Okay. Her immune system?
Yeah, her immune, like, she's pretty good. She's only 4 months, but they say she's like a super healthy baby.
Okay. What he's showing me, what I'm seeing is an infusion or a injection that affects the immune system so that it improves whatever she's dealing with. So they're either going to super turbocharge her immune system, or they're going to give her something that might make it easier for her in dealing with her condition. But I also think, and I would say this, her condition might not stick around past 2 years, because I feel like the next couple of years, I don't feel after that there's anything to be worried. I don't feel worried for her after 2 years. So whatever she's going through feels like after 2 years there's an improvement to that.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
I do have a quick question though. Do spirits, my sister says that spirits don't leave their houses if they, like, leave their house.
Is your sister a medium? Does she talk to the dead people?
But you said anybody could do it, right?
Yeah, everybody has this ability. And I'm sorry, but if I'm dead, I don't want to spend all of my time in my home. I'm out. I'm like going.
Okay.
So
I just want to know, like, if
he's in heaven.
Can he be with me and not in his house? Okay.
Yes. Actually, most people don't realize this. We're sphere consciousness, which means we actually experience reality in a very spherical way. But when we're in our physical bodies, we're only limited to like what is right in front of us. But when we're in spirit, it's a completely different story. And people can actually be in multiple places at the same time because they're not limited. But he is around you, and yeah, he's not stuck in the house.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oops. There we go. I was like, what did I just do? All right, let's go here. Let's see. Hello.
Hi. Oh my goodness.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Good. I've been hoping that you could reach me. Thank you for everything that you do. You're awesome.
You're welcome. And FYI, you are an energy sensitive as well. If you ever wanted to do anything healing or like Reiki or healing ability, that's your route to go. Because as soon as I saw you, I felt this pressure wave hit me, and that's coming from you. That's not coming from me. So you have an ability.
Oh my gosh, that is so weird. And you know what? Sometimes I do have a feeling when something's gonna happen or whatever. I just, or I can kind of see it happening, but not in my head. I can just kind of like, ooh, I can see, and sometimes I tell my friend what's going on, and she's like, what? And sure enough, something happens. But
yeah, just be okay with being crazy, because people are always going to throw you in the crazy pile. But when you're doing well and you're like right, they'll leave you alone and they'll give you props after a while.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
What did you want to ask me? What did you want to ask me about?
Well, if you can connect with my mom or my sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With your mom. It's funny. Your mom's trying to come forward, but your sister-in-law like shoved her to the side and said, "No, it's about me. It's about me." So she's like really, really like making it about her. Yes. Your sister-in-law. Let's start with your sister-in-law first, because your mom is laughing, thinks it's funny. With your sister-in-law, she keeps showing me the number 11. Do you know if 11 or the month of November is connected?
I know one of her kids is their birthday is November.
Okay.
It could be that.
Here's what I will say. It's her. This might be her way of saying happy birthday to that person, or there may be another date.
It's the date that she passed, actually. It's the date that she passed.
Perfect. Okay, yes. Perfect. So she's acknowledging that as being significant. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She's showing me 3 necklaces and then another one that's separate. Are there 3 necklaces connected to her, and then there's another one that's separate?
It could be when she passed at the hospital, they gave a thumbprint to her kids, and so, but they gave us like 10 of them, so it's like her mom, her dad.
Oh siblings. Wow, there's a lot of them. Okay, so,
yeah,
got it. Does she have 3 kids?
4.
4. Okay. There's something. Yeah. She's trying to say something, because she said 3 necklaces, but then one is different. So there's actually 4 necklaces, but 3 are separate, and then one is different.
3 boys and a girl. That's what she has.
Okay.
It could
Is
be
there something
that.
different about the 3 necklaces versus the one with the girl?
I don't think so.
No.
I need to check. I need to check with
Okay,
my
here's what
brother-in-law.
I will say. The way she made me feel is I felt like I was seeing 3 duplicates of a
Mhm.
necklace, and then I saw one that was different, or it was somehow different in some way. But that one, it didn't feel like one that was made. It felt like something that was given as a gift. So that one might have the gift of a necklace that's connected to her. And then there's the 3 duplicates that she's making reference to. So
Okay,
that's
I
one
need to
thing.
check.
She also keeps, thank you. Is there, thank you. Are you Connie or Condis?
No,
Okay.
no,
Is there a con sounding name, C-A-N or C-O-N? Could be also Cindy, but I want to go with the C-O-N or C-A-N.
no. No. I go by Chella at home. No, there's no.
In her family, in your sister-in-law's family, or friends.
No, no.
Connie, Candy, Candy, Candy. There's a name there.
Oh, you
So
know what?
she's,
Dulce. Could it be Dulce?
it could be. That's an interesting way to get me to go there. Yeah, that could work. It's because I'm thinking of my friend Candy, so that could
Oh,
work. Who's
yeah.
Dulce to her?
That's her husband. Yeah, that's my brother-in-law's new girlfriend.
Ah, got it. Okay. So she's laughing. I'm asking you to confirm that. She's laughing. She says yes. So she's aware.
Oh
She
my
doesn't feel
god.
threatened at all. And this is what she's saying. She's like, good luck. And like she's being all attitude-ish. So she's almost like, whatever. Like that's her way of like reacting. She's not even saying, hey, I want him to move on and be happy. She's like, no, I hope that he gets her pregnant and then he's stuck with having to pay for her kids. And I hope, and so that's the way she's coming across. So to
Oh
give him a
my
hard time
god.
about it, just FYI as well. And I think she's being playful, but I think she wants to like make it, not easy for him in
Clear.
that way. She also says that he promised that he was going to love her forever and there would never be anybody like him. She says, throw that in his face because he's going to remember what he said to me. So
I'll
that's
make
the
sure
way.
to tell.
Okay. All right.
Oh
She
my
also says to
god.
tell her brother that she loves her brother. She also says to tell her brother that she's still the favorite. And now, by default, she gets to be even more of the favorite. So she's just acknowledging for the brother as well.
And
She
my
also
husband.
says that she sat in the car with him. So when he talked to her, when he spoke to her in the car, that she was present and she heard him. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also says, Mom is your problem now, so you deal with it. So she's acknowledging having to deal with mom more and having to take on that responsibility. But she
Wow.
says it is what it is with her. So to let him know that as well.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
He's gonna freak out when he hears this because wow, this is crazy. And yeah. Oh wow.
Now your mom, let me get to your mom real quick because your
Okay.
mom's laughing. Your
Okay.
mom is showing me, thank you. Is there a really pretty, I don't know if it's pink or it's like a lavender colored like blouse picture that y'all have of her?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay, because she's acknowledging that. She also, she's showing your hair. Did her hair fall out or was she starting to lose her
Yes.
hair? Okay,
Yeah,
because
she
she's
had
acknowledging that
cancer.
as well.
See.
She says that her hair's back to normal or that her hair is the way it is need to be now. So
Yeah.
she's acknowledging that.
Yeah.
She also says she finally got that that would be, there you go. That's it. That's it. She also said she got the patch to grow back because she kept talking about a patch that would never grow. It was just not trying to. So there's something about a patch in the back of
Oh
her
my
head that she said.
god.
Okay, so she's acknowledging that. She's
Yeah.
also showing me a ring. Do you have 2 rings that are connected to mom?
Yes. Yeah, we have my sister and I, we split jewelry when she passed. Yeah. She kept the ring and I kept
Okay.
her bracelet.
Perfect. Well, she's acknowledging the ring. Or she's acknowledging 2 rings. So there's reference to 2 rings. She
Okay.
also says they're supposed to be together, not apart. And I don't know if your sister's been wearing them apart, but there's 2 rings that are supposed to be worn together because she's wanting to make sure y'all understand that the rings go together.
Okay.
So there's a reference there. And one of them might even be a leaf, and then the other one's kind of like a different, but they're supposed to be together. So she's just acknowledging when she wears them to wear them together. She
Okay.
also says, thank you. I'm your fairy godmother. So your mom is your fairy godmother. So she says that, if you ask her, she says, look, I had to deal with y'all for a long time. And she says, so I earned my right to have a say in y'all's lives. I don't care if I'm dead or not. I'm still going to put my 2 cents in. So that's the way mom is coming across. She's your fairy godmother. So she's acknowledging that. Thank you. Is there a Tanya or Tammy or Tanya or Tani Sunny name?
She's right here. Yeah, she's right here with me.
Got it.
She's my
She's
best
saying,
friend.
telling her,
Yeah.
God, she just wants to tell her hello or make reference to her. Is that your friend?
Yes. Yeah, she's right here.
Hey, do you have a grandmother who's passed away?
My grandma, yes.
Okay. Your grandmother is saying hello. She also says that, thank you. She's doing this. Were you not able to be there when she passed, or were you not able to go to the funeral?
I
She says
didn't.
it's okay. She says it's okay. She's not going to hold it against you. She just says you're just not going to have enough chips to play at the casino in heaven when it's your time. She says that's all you got to worry about. So she's acknowledging that. She also says that her mouth works better, or she's able to control her motor skills in mouth. Do you know she was having weirdness with her mouth and she could not control her jaw?
Well, she died of a heart attack, and she went really fast. So we,
Okay. Do you before her passing, had she had a stroke before her passing?
I believe she did. She had a mini stroke. She passed out.
Is it like Bell's palsy where her mouth was chueca, or her
I
mouth?
believe so.
Yeah. She says it works fine now, so not to worry about her. She's back to normal. She also, is this your mom's mom?
Oh my God! Yes, my mom. Yes, my grandmother. She couldn't speak. She couldn't speak.
Okay, so she's got it. So I'm gonna say both of them are together and they're just talking over each other, and that's what's happening. And they're just wanting to come in and say hi.
That sounds like my grandma.
Got it. Your grandma is also acknowledging. She's showing me balloons. Are we within 30 days of a birthday?
Your mom and you and your mom, maybe?
Yes, probably. My mom.
Within 30 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think
Got it.
my mom's mom.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging the birthday. She also says Elena or Alina or Alina or Alina or Elena. Is there an Ellen, Alina, Alani sounding name connection? It's not your.
Catalina?
That could work. Who would that be to your grandma?
Her daughter, my mom.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I would say then that's it because it's close enough. If this was like, oh yeah, my cousin's third uncle's brothers, no, that's too far away. This has to be immediate. Yeah. I think she's just trying to tell your mom or acknowledge your mom specifically and make sure that she knows that she came through. Oh. She also says thank you for the candle. So I don't know if your mom still lights a candle for her, but she's acknowledging a candle. So she says thank you for this. She also says she doesn't mean to scare her. She's the one showing up at night making the sounds. So your mom's been hearing sounds at night. It's just her trying to get her attention.
Oh my God.
Okay. She also says, is your mom diabetic, by the way?
Yes, yes.
She says your mom needs to take her health more seriously. And she says to scare the hell out of your mom that they're going to chop off her legs if she doesn't take care of herself. So she's telling your mom that she needs to take care of herself because of the diabetes.
Yes, my mom just like, she's been all over the place with the diabetes. Yes.
Yeah. Have her watch this video and tell her that your grandma said that because your grandma's like, I can see the future and I'm telling you. So maybe it'll scare her into making changes.
Well, it's funny because you gave me a reading and my dad warned my mom the same thing. She needs to take better care of herself because my mom.
Here we go.
Yeah. She's like, she's the most fastest.
They're getting on her. Yeah. Now here's what I'm gonna tell you because this is something that I deal with a lot. I have friends who their family members come through sometimes and we'll give them advice. And I have friends where they ask God for advice or for guidance and they're always getting it and they do not listen. And they're like,
my mom is
I'm like, did you do what they told you to do? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well then why are you freaking out or crying? Like, why you literally asked for help and the guidance, you got it, and then you didn't act on it and you just, so get on her ass. Get on her ass.
I will. Okay? I will. Thank you. And I'm sorry to interrupt my bestie's reading because she's been waiting a long time. Thank you.
Oh no, they're fine. They're all over there. So don't worry. Don't worry. All right, sweetheart. Y'all take care of yourself.
Bye.
You're welcome, Mama.
Awesome.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next person. Let's see. Let's go here. Miss Amber, I tried picking you once and it never went through. So I'm going to check on you again in a few minutes. Hello? Hello, sweetheart. Hello? It's like I can hear you. I think I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. It's okay. I can hear you. As long as you can hear me and I can hear you, that's all that matters. Don't you worry about the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi will do whatever it's going to do. Oh, there you are. It's funny because your first picture, I saw you, you're like this. Like so slow with your eyes open. I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? What do you want to ask me about?
Birthday. babies. Are you able to connect with fur babies? And by the way, you just talked to my cousin Ashley.
Oh, cool. Well, cool.
But I was wondering more about you being able to connect with animals.
Hmm. As far as like animals that are deceased or animals that are still alive.
We have someone who's a dog that's missing, um, and I just feel like he's no longer
Hmm.
here. He was my dad's best friend,
Is it a
and I
dark
mean,
color? Is it a dark colored dog?
it was.
Did he
Um,
have something going on with one of the ears, or was there a little bit of a mark on one of the ears?
I don't remember, but he probably did. Um,
Um, is this like a rescue or like someone gave this dog?
he took it away from me and he started raising it.
Okay, because I'm seeing the dog. It's almost like it's had more than one owner, so that's why I was asking if it's like a rescue or someone's taking over the dog. Um, where
Actually
where the
did.
dog was where the dog was last seen, is there an area towards either the back of the neighborhood or the back of the area where it's more like a wooded park like area?
Yes, it's a ranch.
Okay, got it. Do you know if there's also a stream or like an area of water by there? It's like maybe a stream or a pond?
There is.
Okay. To
There's
look over there to go off in that area because I kind of feel like either the dog might have eaten something that might have caused an issue or it might have gotten near the water and ate something that was not good. So I kind of feel that sense there. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm with you. I'm leaning towards the dog no longer being alive. However, on the off chance that I'm wrong, which I hope I am, I would say they need to go in that area and look in that area because there might be either the dog might still be in that area or there might be the ability to find the remnants. Okay. Oh, just completely frozen. All right. Well, that's what I would say. So, oh, here you go. Yeah. So I would say that's where I would say they need to look at because I kind of feel like that would be where they might be able to find something.
okay. Because
Okay.
he was an, I'm just going to say this, he was an asshole and we all loved him and he
Yeah.
was 14 years old and that's my dad's buddy and he put him down and he just never came
Yeah.
back. And I just had this feeling of something's wrong and I wasn't even by
Yeah.
him and he was missing. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's what and there's actually three other dogs there as well. So that's one of like three other. So there's like four total. So I've got several dogs there. So there's definitely quite a few of them there.
You know.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye, Mama. Brandon 2K is like, he talks to animals. I don't talk to animals. So animal communication is really, really highly specialized in this field, is how I would put it. They don't communicate the way that we do. They communicate in a very different way. Usually it's more, animals don't they don't argue with themselves. They don't have like a split like mental state. They're either on board with something 100% or they don't want to do anything with it. So that's how animals relate to each other. I have a friend named Mitch in Florida who's actually an animal communicator. He does what, Sonia Choquette, the animal like psychic and pet psychic. He does what she does. I don't really specialize in animals so much, even though I have a very close bond with animals, but it's usually more out of a feeling, and that's the empathic part of my nature where that comes in. But when it comes to like tuning into like lost pets or like trying to figure some things out about like things of that nature, I tune into the psychic part of myself. I don't really ask the animal to tell me anything because for them it might be very limited because they're based everything on experience and they may not be able, if they can't read and never read in life, they wouldn't be able to say, hey, I'm near like, Cover Street, and they don't even know what the C would. So it's just a very different type of communication with them. All right, let's go over here. Let's see. And I think I am done because my time is up. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple more text versions, and then I'm gonna bounce off so I can go for my walk. Um, 808 por vida. Hey, Ferny, please tell me when and where do you see us moving? Does my dad have messages for me, my sister? Yeah, I can't get into the mediumship part too much because I'm running out of time. Moving. I am seeing, I'm going to say one of two places. I either feel like this is Washington, which might actually be Washington State, or California. So I'm still set on like San Diego, but I'm seeing either California or Washington State. But there might be a move there. For a second, I was going to say Hawaii, but I'm not thinking that's going to happen. I'm thinking it's going to be like Washington State or California. Okay. Let's go here. Patty Maurer on Facebook. Hey, Fernulicious, do you see us? Do you see us moving? I was thinking of like Beyonce and Destiny's Child, Bootylicious. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Like I was thinking of that song. Hey, Fernulicious, do you see us moving to the Texas Hill Country soon? Yeah, I actually see you moving, not soon, but I would say in a couple of years. So I would say 2 years max. It might be sooner than that. Y'all may begin the process in like a year and a half, and it may take up to 6 months to complete the move because there's several things that have to be part of that move. But I would say that within 2 years, but you may start the process in about a year and a half. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will be back in about an hour to do our study group. So for those of you tuning in, that's the time, and we're doing Course in Miracles.